How you doing, everybody? Thanks for stopping by and joining us today for another Rolling Over the Hill right here on the Live to Roll channel. And thanks to all of you for being part of the Live to Roll family. Also, I'd like to take this time to thank our sponsors, mobility professionals and urology professionals. They're a great and helpful group of experts that are very much part of our community and can help you with all your mobility and rehab equipment as well as your catheter needs. So a big thanks to them for sponsoring Live to Roll. On today's show, Mark Fugelvan will be joining us. He is a friend to us all here at Lift Roll and a SC survivor and also owner of Abilities. We'll be talking about a variety of things. There's plenty to talk about. So please make sure to share your comments, questions, and views in the chat. And don't forget to hit that like button. Hello, everyone. My name is Robert Soto. I'm a T12 spinal cord injury from a motorcycle racing accident a little more than 50 years ago. So let's get started and welcome my co-host, Luis and Bobby. What's going on?
Not much. Just finally glad that the heat is down and I'm back on
Yeah.
my. So, I guess you can say that's the good news. So, went out today, and that's why we're kind of running late because of me. I got home and had to eat something besides just like a little bar. So, I'm like, oh, I got to get some protein in me. But I'm Bobby Rohan. Let me fix my camera. Too high, too low, and I'm a C5-6 quadriplegic of 35 years. And Luis, we're glad to have you back on. You've been a hit and miss a couple times, but
Yeah,
you're back with us.
good to be back. I miss you guys. Um, I'm a L3, L4 incomplete. 44 years ago, I was ejected from an oil rig. I was a derrick hand on an oil rig up in North Dakota. So I took the big fall. So been 44 years. I'm a walking spinal cord injury. So occasionally we'll hear that come up. I'm incomplete enough that I still have quadriceps and hip flexors. Um, Occasionally been known to wear AFOs. Um, so I hang out with these guys. These guys are my old brethren. In
Yes.
fact, Robert and I even went to the same rehab and had a lot of the same doctors.
Well, glad you're back with us. Um, I got a quick question. We're waiting for Mark to hop on. He was picking up his kids from school and said, "Hey, I'll be on, but I just, he's got something he's got to take care of." So he'll be joining us. But in the meantime, I have a question for you, and this was regarding our topic from the other day on Tuesday with Tom and myself. Unfortunately, Shawn wasn't there, but check it out. It's on SCI Awareness Month. And the question was, what does SCI Month mean to you? And I'll start with you, Robert.
It means to me, first off, looking back, if I go back the years when I first got hurt and stuff, there was days before, years before ADA and all that. But off the top of my head, real quick, it makes me be proud as a SCI survivor. Looking back at all the years, what you've gone through, what you've accomplished, uh, all the accomplishments that the community has seen with ADA around curb cuts. I mean, just it's a lot more aware. I know we complain a lot about stuff that, oh well, it's not this and so, but you always hear people going to other countries and it's just like not even accessible. So I think I'm proud that to be included in. It's a unique group, a limited group of survivors that all have something to be proud of. We all have a story, but there's the foundations the same, whether we're a quad or para. Some of us have a little more difficult than others, but we're all survivors. We're doing the show. People are joining the show. We're going out, shopping, going out to restaurants, and I think that's a big thing to say because I know when I got hurt, it was more of the Vietnam era. Guys were coming back from Vietnam, and so that was influx of people in wheelchairs, and it's come a long way. I mean, I'm not saying that it's what I in my years that I've seen, it's come a long way. I mean, because I know when wasn't curb. I remember when they started putting in curb cuts.
You
Yeah.
know,
You know,
it's funny that you bring that up, Robert. And I said this the other day. Um, we're very young. If you think about it, and just today, I flew by a flag, and it had the original 13 stars, and it said 1976. What Anybody know what happened in 1976? The U.S. was only 200 years old.
Oh,
That
that's right.
America
200th anniversary.
200th anniversary on July 4th, 1976. So you think about it, we're such a young, uh, country of just under 150 or 250 years. And I mean, what we have established for the disability, because back then, 200 years ago, 150 years ago, shoot, even 50 years ago, we didn't have people living much longer after a spinal cord injury. It wasn't
yeah,
until after, like you just said it, Bob, after the Vietnam War, that's when they started taking note that, hey, and people were like, we're going to be living a little bit longer because now there's doctors more aware about what maybe they can do for us, better
yeah,
Mhm.
catheters. And
yeah,
so, really, you think about it, SCI is only just 50 years
yeah,
of
exactly.
people were going to be like, okay, I guess they're going to stick around. We might need to do some things here. And then it took another 25 years to get the ADA law going. So,
Mhm.
really, for what we have and how much we've accomplished in such a short time, I think, compared to like look at, if you go to Paris, we just all saw the Paris Olympics, you know, and our good buddy Andrew from Triumph Foundation was there, and he's like, "Thank you for loaning me the scooter. Oh my God, I'm so happy I brought it." And it's probably because it's crappy. And he said, "Yeah, uh, it took a little bit of time uh, for thing. I lost my train of thought. Darn it. For things to get going, but once it did, at least we're
Yeah.
having the accessibility, unlike what you see over in Paris."
Yeah, because I know he was worried about just because it's the first time he was out of the country and just the mobility issues. And like I said, we've come a long ways here. Just in my time, and it, I don't know we slam it sometimes and all that, but there's very little that is accessible now. Because I know when I started school in '75, I went back to school in '75. There were no elevators in certain buildings. They had to move the classroom downstairs so I can get to it and say swapped it out, and that was in
Yeah.
'75, you know.
Yeah.
So campuses weren't all accessible. I know I went to Cal Poly Pomona for one semester, and I transferred out of there. You know, yeah, I couldn't get around the campus. Everything was on grass. Paths were on grass and stuff. I'm in the chair. Fresh in a chair, and I think you're right. And the life expectancy after injury, just the fact that they're even tagging the life expectancy on your injury, that's crazy.
Right. And where they make that, I had the comment like, oh wow, that just, you know, those who have, SCI is, have lost 20 years of their life. And this is
Yes.
88 or 89. And it's like, wait, what?
Yeah,
But I don't think it's that way anymore. You don't hear
yeah,
that when we're mentoring, they're like, hey, I heard this rumor. No, I think back then, I was hearing it. And probably when you guys were hurt, you were hearing it. What does it mean
yeah,
to
Yeah.
you, Luis?
Yeah. When Robert and I were going to rehab, they would actually tell you your expectancy,
See,
or
they
they
didn't
would
tell me.
include it in the
Yeah,
charting
they
somewhere.
told my yeah, they told my parents. My parents didn't tell me. I didn't find out till early 2000s when I was in the hospital for a procedure, and they
And
go,
they're
"Yeah,
like,
well, you guys are outliving. Yeah, you're outliving
Yeah.
your prognosis." I
You're
didn't
Yeah,
know.
going for it because the doctor said you're only going to live 30 years.
Yeah.
yeah. When I was in there, they actually put it on the chart, and I saw it
Wow.
on the chart because I would bug into the nurses station and pull up my chart, and they would let me read it. And it said 12 to 15 years.
Of
You know,
life.
of potential life.
Yeah. And I kind of remember the meeting the first person who said, "Oh," I go, "How long you been hurt?" And they're like 5 years. I'm like, 5 years? No, oh my god, that is like the longest
Yeah,
time. Are you crazy? There is no way I can like. Luckily, they told me that pretty soon there's going to be a cure.
Yeah,
It's
oh,
not going
yeah,
to,
yeah, I heard that too.
you know. So it was just like you know. But what does the ADA, mean to you? SE or ADA, SEI Awareness Month for you, Luis.
basically, it means for me being conscious of us and our disabilities and other people's disabilities and how far it's come along. Because like
Mm-hmm.
like with you guys know we were there when the ADA passed, the Rehabilitation Act of 1974. Uh, those things, at least Robert and I saw those things happen. They happened during our lives, and to see the way things are now, and then uh, just you mentioned the people that were over in Paris for the Paralympics, and God love, I love the Olympics, I love the Paralympics, but I'm quite honest, and they have their problems too. And I know that you mentioned our good friend, um,
Andrew.
oh, Andrew, little Alzheimer's moment there.
Oh, I
Uh,
have him. I have him many
An-
times.
Andrew was having a tough time getting around. He was having a tough time getting into certain venues. There wasn't enough seating available because the venue did not expect so many spectators in wheelchairs. And that was a problem for them. So
Yeah,
they would say, well, you're allowed to have two people there. So the person in the wheelchair, their caretaker, and then that third person, which was Andrew's wife, would have to go sit up in the grandstand someplace. They couldn't sit together. Then somebody later would sneak down and say, "Oh, there's only three people in the whole wheelchair section. Yeah, you can ask your wife to come down." You know, things
yeah,
like that. That was a problem. And f- love the Paralympics, but in certain
yeah.
countries, it's still an issue about getting around, getting to the places that you need to. I know that Andrew was not digging all the cobblestones. You
Yeah.
know,
No, I bet, and
that,
that's
that scooter was a total blessing for him.
and when we
But you
think
know what?
about being mad at sometimes that we're not far along, that's where I say, hey, look at other countries. I mean,
Well,
Andrew, you're in the chat. Andrew, our longtime
Andrew
friend.
Hunt,
Yeah, Andrew Hunt, and I don't
Mickey.
remember you saying that you had a heart attack, Andrew, but I know he lives in a different country. Tell us about, you can talk about how the accessibility is over there with cobblestones because you've been, and also traveling because I know you've been traveling a lot over the summer. So
yeah.
maybe if you want to drop that in. And hi, Mickey. Um, I'm glad we're here to entertain you as well. So
Yeah. Well,
we wish you
you know what?
the speediest recovery.
Yeah, what we're talking about right now is kind of shows the point about how far along we are here in the U.S.
Yeah,
Because you figure the Paralympics was an international event, and they're like Luis was saying, they struggled through certain things. So in 4 years or whatever, when we have the Olympics here, it's going to be a whole lot better because of our advancement in terms of mobility and accessibility. Sure, it's not 100%, but you know what? It's a whole lot better than some of these other countries,
yeah.
I'm sure.
And I'm sure Paris and other bigger cities are great. But hey, Paul, but in the long run, look at some other countries. I mean, the lack of accessibility plus equipment. I mean, I used to I used to volunteer for a program called Wheels Around the World, and we used to go down to Mexico all the time from all these refurbished chairs that we put together. And then not only that, we put together refurbished chairs, we'd make, or I would not make, but we would do chairs making them from PCP piping, believe it or not. You know,
Mhm.
Wow.
just so they, you know, because we would have to bring down like 300 wheelchairs. And, you know, they were mostly for kids. And the saddest thing, or the saddest, you know, thing I heard from you know, they were trying to put down this kid into the chair, and he just started wailing. And this kid had to be 10, 11 years old, somewhere around there. And he said, or the mom said, well, this is the first time I put him down in out in the open where it's not at home. It's either in my arms or in his bed.
Mhm.
And I'm just like,
Wow.
so he's never had a chair. She carried him everywhere. And this kid was 10 or 11. It wasn't small by any means. I'm just like, felt more, you know, I felt bad for the kid, but I felt even worse for the mom. And, you know,
Yeah.
and you can tell, you know, that. And so that being said, I'm just so glad that, you know, we've come so far, and, and we have done a great job here in the U.S. with, you know, accessibility, having a law in place, and funny thing, comment on what you were saying about Andrew Skinner in Paris, and going to the events, and they, you know, they didn't have a lot of wheelchair seating. Can you imagine in 4 years what it's going to be like here in LA? Because our population is pretty huge, and some of those events, you're going to probably have more people in chairs trying to get in than
Yeah. Yeah.
able bodies. You know,
Yep.
that's all like I you know that's all I can imagine is like in 4 years how hard it is to get a wheelchair seating for the LA games.
Yeah. Well, like one of the things in Paris, they were saying that uh, the Paris officials did not expect as many spectators in wheelchairs that actually arrived. They were blown away by that. They didn't think there were going to be that many spectators in wheelchairs, so they were unprepared for it. And
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
thinking, oh man, wait till they get to Los Angeles.
Well, you
You
know, the
know,
thing here, I think the challenge when we have it here is going to be because they want it to be no cars, right? Anywhere. They want it all transportation, uh,
yeah,
buses and all that stuff. So that's going to be the challenge there, to see. I think I don't think there's any problems with any of the accessibility. You know, they're going to have places like sci-fi and all, SoFi and all that stuff. You know, so
yeah,
all that stuff's new
Yeah,
venues.
I
So
mean,
you know,
I don't know where they're gonna. Hopefully, but even if they host it at the wheelchair rugby at Staples, or the new one for the Clippers,
yeah,
what?
into it, yeah, into
Yeah,
it.
into it. Okay. Um, even even in there, it's like going to a Laker game. It's still hard to get a wheelchair seat. And can you
yeah,
imagine if they're playing rugby at one of those venues? You know,
Yeah.
they're going to have to do something like have us get down to the floor, or, I hope, and I know that Andrew Skinner, has a little bit of something because we're doing a big thing campaign for them for 4 years called Play LA. And if
yeah.
anybody's here in the Los Angeles area and want to look up Play LA, they might be able to give you some more details, and trying to get the Paralympic and the Olympics, going for, and prepping for this 4 years because it's going to be huge out here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted we got Paul stopped in, Leon. What's up, buddy?
Chris,
Chris, there you go. I knew Chris was here.
Chair Life.
And um, Andrew's chair life. Yeah. What's up, Chad? Um, I got my stuff. So thank you so much. Cobblestones are terrible, but notice on shore excursions. Oh, he's talking about his cruise on cruise ships. the best activities like cruise across a fortune in New
Fjord.
Norway. No wheelchair access on boats at all. Yeah, I've heard that too. In parts of Norway, wheelchair accessibility doesn't exist. Yeah, I mean that's
Oh yeah,
Norway.
yeah.
Norway
We,
is, it's a big country.
heck, just the fact alone, the cobblestone. Heck, I complain about the yellow bumps for the visually impaired on the ramps and stuff. Let
Yeah,
alone cobblestones.
tactile bumps.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, absolutely. Um, we're just having an open discussion. So if anybody has any questions, um, feel free and put that in the chat. And we're going to get Mark in here any minute now. So, and we'll catch up with him. And we're just shooting the breeze. So we got Donna. Hi, Mama. She got in. And I think Velma was in earlier. Yeah, she was. So, Grandma. So, what's new?
Leon's asking about the social hour webinar with the CCA, and then he mentions the SCA. I don't know what that is, other than the Society for Creative Anachronisms, which has nothing to do with disability.
And is 7 Eastern Standard Time or Pacific? So if you can let us know.
Let us know, Leon.
SCA. What SCA? Spinal Cord Association, obviously.
Chris is right. Chris R. I think LA is going to be nuts in a good way, because all of the three of us here, we're all old enough to remember 1984
I don't
and
see
all the horrible predictions that people made about, oh, the Olympics in Los Angeles, the traffic, and everything's going to be a nightmare. It was wonderful. I'm sorry, but
Oh,
we
84?
have more freeways and more venues now than we did then.
And
Yeah.
more people.
It's funny. I was living up in Oregon when 84 Olympics were going on, and we came down, believe it or not. The day it ended, I think. We drove
Mhm.
down. My parents decided to do a big family trip, and I got, first time I went to Knott's Berry Farm, Disneyland, SeaWorld, Zoo, and everything, Venice Beach, and you know everything that you're supposed to, the parents take you to go see. But we kept asking everybody, and even during that time we were there, my mom's just like, I think the freeway is just amazing, and everybody said, and it's still going on, in the sense that people are still obeying, stay at home, work from home for 2 weeks, do what you
Yeah.
can for 2 weeks, so I think that's good. It sounds like oh, that was your phone. I thought it was Mark calling you.
Yeah.
The
So
freeways were awesome. The buses were awesome. We didn't even have the trains yet. The
Yeah.
Metrolink
And
and the Metro Rail.
what?
Those
Yeah.
didn't exist at the time, but we have them
And
now.
who was it Peter? Um, the guy that put everything together for the most part, Peter Guberoff, or
Yeah,
I don't remember.
he was
But
from
he was from
Uberoff.
the well, yeah,
Peter
Peter
Uberoff.
Uberoff. Yeah, there you go. And he had a lot to do with the planning and how they structured businesses operating hours and things like that. They adjusted a lot of stuff around. I don't know how that'll be this time around, or 4 years, because
Yeah,
of growth of Southern California, and but I think it's I'm hoping everything. I'm rooting for Los Angeles because uh, if anybody can pull it off, we can. But
yeah.
there's a whole bill. It's a whole different time now. All the homelessness, and there's a lot of things going on, that the challenges that are out there now that
well,
weren't
and
there much before.
1984 Olympics are still making a profit. To this day, they still profiting.
yeah, oh yeah, um, and oh man, I lost my thought. Oh, you remember when that weekend here in Los Angeles we were going to have Carmageddon because they're taking down one of the things
Freeway,
for
freeway.
Yeah,
yeah, and we
Carmageddon.
And that weekend was the same weekend as one of our galas for our big fundraiser for our nonprofit out here, Triumph Foundation. And so I'm like, oh, I better leave early. Everybody's not going to be taking that freeway. Everybody's going to be taking this, which was the 5, and the only way to get up there.
Yeah.
I mean, I was up there faster than
No,
nobody was
no
on
time
the
at all.
You were there early.
Everybody's like, then I'm not going to get on the freeway this weekend. And I think that's what will happen for LA. But I just think, we'll hopefully see the Paralympics here in Los Angeles be well over the top of accessibility to a lot of those events. And being that we're talking about the Paralympics, how much coverage did you guys watch? Did you see anything that you liked or found interesting?
I watched quite a bit
Go.
on NBC and USA Network, at least on the channels that I get,
Right.
because I don't have a Peacock subscription, and everybody I know that had Peacock for the premium content, we're still not getting all of the Paralympics, so I wasn't going to pay for it.
Oh, I pay for it. I pay the basic, and I got in a long time ago, so I pay $5.99.
Yeah, but I heard even with Peacock,
I saw way more than I ever could.
Well, you saw more than the USA Network, but I hear that the opening ceremonies, they only showed 2 hours of the opening ceremonies.
That's all you need anyway for that.
Yeah, but I was looking for Chelsea Hill and
we saw her on
and
TV on the
Kaylee.
openings.
Yeah, she was, but that was at the beginning. If they only showed 2 hours, so it's who knows. So
Yeah, but we're watching for our favorites.
Hey, you know what?
And
The
if
thing
your
is
favorites aren't on.
hey, the fact that they even show it on TV now and give it as much time as they do, and obviously the time difference and all that, but there was a lot of coverage on the Paralympics. So kudos to that too, because before you didn't hear much about it.
It's good for NBC. The rest of the world shows a lot more than NBC does. I know people that were using filters on their internet access and whatnot so they could watch other countries' coverage of the Paralympics because NBC sucked so bad.
I had the opposite experience, Louise. I got to tape a ton of things, meaning it recorded and 2 days later, oh yeah, finally the hand cycling event went on. So I went, and they had all the categories just like for the Olympics, because it was great for both. And then I went to the cycling, and it said, do you want to watch velodrome? Do you want to watch men's, women's? And a lot, because it's not as many events as the Olympics. So how they did it is for the Olympics, men went one day and did their race, and the women did it the next day for able body. But for the Olympics, it was men, and then half an hour later the women went. Half an hour later another category would go. Because also with disability levels, there's different categories you fit in. So if you're amputee or quad amputee, you're in a different category than somebody who has all their limbs and maybe have a hip.
I saw that. Yeah, just what you're talking about. I saw that with the swimming, and they handled it in the swimming awesome.
Yeah.
I think that was the best I've ever seen swimming handled in any Olympics or Paralympics.
Yeah. I just wish if I had to complain about anything, and I mean, I watched a lot, ping pong, a lot of archery. I could not find our friend Kevin. I watched a lot of the men's basketball and men's and women's basketball, the rugby.
I don't think Kevin was there this time.
Oh, I thought that's why Andrew went over there. But Chair Life was asking, Chad was asking, pardon me for asking, How old are you guys? He's 52. Same here, Chad. I'm 52. Energy level doesn't last as long. Yeah,
Welcome to
I
the
hear
welcome to
you.
the club.
30-minute shut eye in the middle of the day is a must. LOL. Um,
Yeah.
So I'm
you know,
64.
I'm 70, 50 years in the
There you go.
chair.
and I'll be 53 in less than a month, I think. But I'll tell
You're
you,
creeping up there.
I know. Uh, the best thing I can say, Chad, is, or what changed my life is still a lot of cardio exercising, as much as
Yes.
you can get in. I think cardio and I know Paul joined us, and I think and Paul and I work out together online, and he was here for a week, and we did a lot of hand cycling, but I think that has really helped me because I notice if I don't work out, I'm actually more tired throughout the day. So it's kind of odd.
That's true.
Yeah. And Tom probably is already gone, but hey, Tom. So him and I had a great show on Tuesday talking about SCI Awareness Month. And Leon, I don't know if he's still around, but he was saying that the Spinal Cord Association has a hangout. So wondering, I know it's called UnitedSpinal.org for anybody that wants to get on their website and see if you can find uh, Spinal Cord Association happy hour. So yeah,
Cool.
yeah, Robert and
Cool.
Luis, they do look good,
So,
especially.
so chair life. I wanted to let you know that Robert and I had our injuries during the Jurassic period.
Yeah, there you go. But for anybody who doesn't know, Chair Life does some great products, and I just got my other set. But these hookets, oh my god, this has been a life changer. So it's got just this perfect bend, and put it in the arm. And what I do is I wrap a finger up at the top, so I know this. So it hooks underneath my wrist like this, and then I'm able to reach down, hook my what you call it, keys, phone.
This, this is child friendly, right?
You want to. It's a little the tip. You want to be careful and don't poke your eye out. But it's I wouldn't have a 5-year-old playing swords with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do. I do have an idea for you, Chad. So we got to get online and talk about it. But a way to put a magnet on this as
Yeah.
well.
And
So,
also, Chad, Chair Life has those lap tables or lap things that you made. Because I'm
yeah,
interested in sizes because I can use one of those. I'm a para, but I set things on my lap rather than trying to always position them if they don't fall off or they're not level or something. So I know Bobby had some, and I wanted to check out the different sizes. But that's
yeah.
another thing that
But
I'm interested
I,
in.
I can bring them by this weekend. These are the lap trays he's talking about, but I can bring them by this weekend and show you the different sizes. And I wish I had my big one, but it's out by my barbecue because now when I have something hot, I put it on there. So um,
Cool. Yeah, those
Pretty
are. I
sweet.
like those.
these are great. Now put it on my lap, and I can put my beer or like I'll bring it to the Angel game this weekend. I'm going to the
Nice.
Angel game on Monday, and so bring it to the game because you when I've gone to get a beer, I always go, well, I'm sitting right over there. Can you help me walk it over? And they're, always say yes, but now I can carry it on my lap.
Nice.
Yeah, sure.
I
Like okay, I'll
can't
send
tell
you
you
an
how
email.
many times I've dropped food.
Yeah.
One little crack in the sidewalk. Bam.
No, yeah, got to be careful of that. Hey, we got Walk and Roll. What's going on? Hand pink. Oh, it's probably it, on our
Oh,
side. It's just
oh
way
yeah,
big.
just it's yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what is that?
Rock and roll live.
Yeah, our good friends over there. So check out their podcast at Walk and Roll Live. They have some great guests. They're once a week, just like us, and so check it out. And I'm really surprised Mark hasn't popped on. I didn't think he was going to be this late. But so what's going on with you, Robert? I know for anybody who doesn't know, you've been under the weather.
Yeah, I still, thought I was getting better, but like today, I've been struggling with the flu, and it's probably I'm in my fifth day right now. Uh, Fevers and all that. The fever is what makes you feel lousy. So I've been taking. I don't really take Tylenol for anything or no pain or anything, but I've been taking Tylenol just to keep the fever from going crazy because it was like 1015, and so last night was the first night where I, fell asleep but woke up in a sweat. So I think I broke the fever last night, but I
No.
feel, I still feel pretty tired and stuff. So I know a bunch of other people that are some friends and stuff out here. They've had it and it lasted 5, 6 days. But I'm trying to get over this thing, but I'm still trying to get some other of my medical care still taken care of, like going to get blood work and now my dog is something's wrong with her, so I took her to the
Mm.
vet because she has some flare up, some arthritis. She's getting older, so she's barely, she just. It breaks my heart to see her um, try to stay mobile. So I'm going to take her back tomorrow for X-rays. He gave her a physical exam and just said it is orthopedic and things like that, flare-ups. And she's 13 years old. She's still jumping from the bed, and so I think she really tweaked something with her arthritis, but. I do. It's. I'm really taking that hard. I hate to see her like that. She's a little trooper. And she's feeling good and stuff, but she can't when she goes outside to go take care of business. She can't squat, so she's having a hard time there, and it's like it's tearing my heart up.
So, big question: did you get your flu shot?
What's funny because I was talking to the pharmacist because I had to get some meds, and I go, well, because I went in there last week or a week and a half ago, and I was going to get my flu shot because I usually get it in August. And especially with being around Rancho before, you had to get them. So I kind of put it off this year. I go, okay. And then I went to get it, and they were kind of busy at the pharmacy there at the Save On. So I go, okay, I'll get it the following week. And that weekend, I started getting this thing. This Saturday. Saturday night, I started feeling lousy. Well, I have had the cough. So the cough is gone. The sore throat's gone. I'm still got the headache, and my throat's a little weak, but
So,
you know,
Robert,
just getting
well,
taken
one
care
thing
of.
I wanted to ask you about, Robert,
Yeah.
is those that don't know, uh, one of the big uh, brush fires that's burning right now is not that far from where Robert lives. How have you been doing with that? How's the air
Yeah.
quality been?
Well, the air quality's fine. I mean, I got my sliders open and everything. A few days ago, it was pretty bad. You had to keep the house closed up. But the fire's north of me, and
Yeah,
so it's north of the 210, and I'm not
and it's
that. I mean, I'm
blowing
closer.
east, which is
Yeah. So
good.
it's
Yeah,
yeah.
that it's the
So,
way the wind blows, so that's
But
good.
I know I have a nephew that's a few miles away, and he got notices for possible evacuation. But I think it's moving east. It's been moving towards Wrightwood and Mount Baldy and all that. But
yes,
it was
yeah.
the quality of air was bad. You couldn't even open. You couldn't even go outside. You didn't want to be outside because it was pretty smoky and
Yeah.
yeah. But it's crazy the fires but the heat. I'm just glad the heat is gone. I wanted to go. Oh, I need when it's gloomy and cold. I need the heat. Then the heat came and it came on like
For those
gangbusters
that
this
don't
time
know,
around.
most of these fires here in Southern California, at least the three big ones, started up when we were having triple digit temperatures,
Yeah.
105, 110, 115
Well, yeah.
degrees out here in the valleys. And in the mountains, it was 90, 100 degrees, which is unusual in the
Yeah.
mountain.
But here, but here's a sad comment. The airport fire, which is Orange County and Riverside County, or whatever, that
Yeah.
was started by Orange County Public Works. They were doing
Were they
some
trying
work.
to do a
They're
clearing or
trying to
something?
do a control burn.
I know they were doing some repair work or moving some things around with their
Oh,
equipment and caught the fire. So they had some fire extinguishers, but it wasn't enough. And so my point is there. So that could have been prevented. Then the line fire, which is San Bernardino, they caught some guy, an arsonist.
Yeah,
So the thing is when these companies go out and do work in certain types of weather, they need to have couple fire trucks with them just in case for like part of the procedure when they're doing work with the heavy equipment. Because it just
yeah,
takes a spark. And where the airport fire started, that's at Santiago Canyon. That thing is just, we've had a lot of rain and then no rain and the heat drying up everything. But the only one that I don't know what the cause was is the bridge fire, which is right here, not too far from me. But yeah, it's not unusual for Southern California to have these fires when there's a heat wave.
yeah.
yeah.
And
Out,
I know,
out here, I live just east of where Robert lives in Mount Baldy Road. The fire did not cross Mount Baldy Road, but it like shot right up Baldy and went over into Wrightwood, and it blew right through Wrightwood.
yeah, I bet.
I mean,
Yeah.
there are homes down. You got to wait for them to get in there and make the reports, but I guarantee you they lost some homes in Wrightwood.
Well,
Oh yeah, they showed them.
that, being that we're talking fire, sorry, Robert.
That's
But
right.
I thought, a lot of people don't live here, so I think we
Yeah.
can try to change it to a
That's
topic.
true.
I mean, on this same topic, we can because we'll see each other this weekend. We can talk about it. But it's a good point to say, um, what are your do you have emergency plans? Especially for us having a disability, it's you know for myself and then our good buddy Shawn and Tom from our Tuesday show, and some of our women who are the high levels. Um, uh, they um, they should have something in place, extra water,
Yes.
extra, maybe some food, batteries, flashlight, and then also find out how you're going to charge your cell phone.
Yeah.
Because cell phones are probably not going to work for a while, especially if there's a major disaster. And yeah, we have this tendency that every so often have this big earthquake, and we're kind of due. So it's something to think about. I know if you're in Louisiana, it's oh, there you go. So Shawn just said next Tuesday we're going to be talking about emergency prep. So yeah,
Emergency drill.
and so make sure you join that, and so we won't beat this for those who are going to join us, and maybe that's a little hanging fruit there, a little teaser for you. So
It's a good
just join
topic
it.
for us to talk about.
Yeah, and I think it's a good thought. And if anybody in the comments, let me know yes or no. If you have an emergency plan, like my wife and I have something in the sense of I'm in bed and I have to get out real quick. What do we do? So we have a big blanket that's always over, for, in the middle of the night if she's cold or I'm cold. And it's always right there hanging. And I forget what kind of hanger, or it's not, it's draped over something that's supposed to support, a blanket or your clothes coming off at the end of the day. That's what we use it for. But our plan is, by the time I get my ass in my chair, it takes a while. And if I'm not fully dressed, when I'm fully dressed, my wife can help me out a lot quicker than being just in my underwear. And um, so sliding, we thought that if the house is on fire, pull out that blanket, I will roll onto it, meaning, ease me down as best you can. If I go plunk, I go plunk. But the house is on fire. We're not going to be worrying about, we'll just try to do a controlled fall onto the blanket, and then you slide it out the sliding glass door into the backyard.
Yeah.
So, that's the best I can tell you in the sense of starting from there and having something is, is a great start. Um, and going back real quick, Leon, I'm 3 days younger than you. or older than you. 3 days older than you. So I'm October 6th. So we're just 3 days apart on my birthday
Wow.
and year. So that's crazy. Um, uh, Leon also said, extra supplies of meds if you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you can do that, that's always great. Somehow try to get ahead and don't pick up a prescription that you're like, oh, I kind of really don't need it. So um,
Have them
uh,
all in one spot, you know?
I have KY. I put it gives my
Yeah. Bernard.
Also have more than one destination to go to. Pre-plan.
Yeah. And Willie said it. Yes, practice fire drill once a year. So that's good. Good to think that we're thinking out there, and trying to go outside the box a little bit. I know one thing we did a long time ago. My old van, um, you had to have the car on to charge a phone. My new van, I can charge it without the van being on. So which is great, and uh, so that's how I'm going to be able to charge my phone, or go over to my next door neighbor because he's got the Tesla roof, solar. So he'll always. I have solar, but it doesn't store. His is stores where he can have power for about 5 days,
Yeah.
Cool.
which is
Cool.
pretty amazing. So I know I can go over there for hot water if I need it, but it's always great to have. And this is something they say, and I don't want to say too much on this because we have the topic on Tuesday, but uh, they say you need a gallon a day per person of water, including your pets.
Yeah.
So it's two of you with two dogs. That's prepare for 4 gallons a day or 5 gallons, and at least have 3 days worth.
Urinary and bowel supplies. Uh, all kinds of things. Be prepared, but be prepared to hit the road. A couple of people were talking about. I'm not sure who it was here, but um, having stuff at home. Have stuff at home that you can put in the car and get the heck out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Because it's in some places you might have a hurricane or a tornado out in the Midwest or Florida or something, and we do have those out here very rarely. Out here, it's a different setup, and when something happens here, like a forest fire, an earthquake, you can't always stay home. So you got to get the heck out of Dodge and be ready. Throw the stuff in the van and or the truck and go.
Bernard, you're too much, man.
Bernard's cracking me up here, man.
Bernard, you're too much. Paul said it right when you were saying that up there, where it's in the up there in that other country, Canada. So
Yeah,
they always have an emergency kit as part of their supplies in the house in case of storms or power outages. So yeah,
Paul, do you live in the Great White North?
he does. Paul is up in Saskatchewan.
Oh, stop it! Saskatchewan, like Regina, Moose Jaw.
Yes.
I used to live like an hour and a half from Moose Jaw.
How funny.
Oh
He lives
man,
up in Saskatoon. So Saskatoon, man, yeah.
Saskatoon
Yep.
and
Yeah.
Saskatchewan.
Close enough. Yep.
Oh yeah, Saskatoon.
Yeah. We're gonna go to. Oh, now I was gonna say. Oh, what's your coffee shop, Paul? Dang it! See, I'm having a senior moment.
Oh, Tim's.
Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons.
Yeah, Tim Hortons.
Yeah. So, not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, Tim Hortons. I don't even drink coffee. This is great. Tim Hortons is awesome.
Oh, they don't like it. They're not
They
the
don't
biggest
like Tim
fan.
Hortons.
Well, I know Paul doesn't like it because he told me. when he
Oh,
was
okay.
here. But I think it's his. I know it when he drove back from my house to hit back home. Uh, their first place they got stopped at on their way home was Tim Hortons. So maybe it's
Ah,
your girls like it. I can't remember. So ah, nuts.
the Canucks.
Yeah, Canucks. And then also today I waved at somebody who was riding their bike with a Canadian flag on their jersey, and I waved, and he didn't wave back. I thought it was like a law that you have to be nice to everybody at all times,
Yeah.
everywhere. So
Well, it's this.
no, he didn't even give me that. I was like, what?
You got to do this. You see someone from the Midwest, whether it's Canada, Minnesota, North Dakota, Saskatchewan, it's this.
Yeah, but no, I didn't get it. So disappointed with your country there, Paul. No wave back. Damn Canadians. Yeah. Um,
Hey,
so,
that's all right. They're pretty cool in BC. Give them credit.
oh no, they are. I'm just giving them a hard time. Uh, the next thing, we were talking about it earlier, and somebody texted me about the endurance and how to keep it up, uh, and they said, "Don't you coach?" So, and this might go out for you too, but for Chad at Share Life, and I don't think we said I. You can Google. You can Google Chair Life, and it should pop up. And it might be chairlife.com. Let me know if that's a yes or a no. But for these, the hookets or the lap trays, and he's got other products too that are pretty awesome. But um, for Chad and anybody else, I do teach exercise that does have a cardio base to it. It's an hour a day. We have 4 times throughout the day. So if anybody's interested in working out from home, and especially for those that don't live near a gym or accessible gym and want to get a little bit of exercise, uh, it's an hour long workout, and we shoot the shit throughout the workout, talking and having fun and working out. So we program a little challenge. Usually it's 1 to 3 minutes. Then we do some strength workout, and then we do a Metcon, which usually has most likely a cardio based part to it. And you go at your own tempo, your speed, your weights that you want to use, and it's all done from home, and you can grab the weights. So for anybody that's interested, it's Staying Driven is the exercise program online, and you can find it on the web at stayingdrivenlive.com. So for those that are interested, and so Chad, something you might want to look up, and Paul was just saying to Chad, those hooks, it's the hooks that you have are awesome, because when Paul was here, I gave him my one of my long ones. So, and they come in 2 sizes, long and short. I think it's 15 and 22. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jeff. But um, anything else, guys, that you can think of before we wrap up here? Anything going on? You want to get
No,
off
just
your chest?
Stay high and dry and stay out of the
enjoy
heat.
enjoy the weather. It's going to be cool for a while now. So no complaints
That
about
won't
cold weather.
cool off.
Yeah.
You're right, Robert. The heat was pretty bad the last week and a half, and the last day or so, it's been much, much nicer.
No,
Yeah.
it's been amazing out there. The last 2 days, but luckily we only get it um, a few days or a few weeks out of the year where
Yeah. Yeah.
there's some 15 and 19. Oh, I was close. But we're so lucky compared to those who live back east that might have that high
Yep.
humidity, or
Yeah.
or those who live in Arizona with, and maybe even Houston. Right, for Chad, I know he's out, I believe, in Houston, in the Texas area. But yeah, I've been out there in Houston in August.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets humid in Houston. It's right up from Galveston, and they get that humidity there.
Yeah, and I was trying to get from point A to point B to their expo one time.
Oh man.
I thought, like, this is
I've
it.
never been to the expo in Houston.
It's nice. I mean, um, yeah, it's not as big as LA. LA is always the biggest,
It's
but they get a
it's
good one
big.
out there.
Yeah.
And I say, if you can at least catch one a year for the Abilities Expo, you're fine. You don't, you know, maybe if you go to a different one, all you're going to see that's different is uh, they might have more organizations for that area.
Regionals.
Yeah. Mm,
A lot of the
scenic.
vendors that you see at the Abilities Expo are contracted, and they're going to go in, whether you're going to see Invacare or Per Mobile, or certain companies are going to be there no matter what. Um, and then you'll see a few other people,
Yeah.
who are local regional providers, charitable organizations, and now, like for us, we have Los Angeles, of course, but then Phoenix is not that far away. And Live to Roll, we've gone to Phoenix and had a great time there, and it was pretty similar, but the difference wasn't in the vendors; it was in the organizations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much. So, sorry, Chad, you're in San Antonio. Houston, San Antonio, what,
Yeah.
4 hours apart? No big deal. No. But he said the same thing. Super hot there. So
Yeah.
um, maybe just put how you are. How well do you do in the heat? And I know the older I've been getting, I'm affected way more from it. And I grew up in the San Fernando Valley, and nothing like what Los Angeles gets, or Orange County, meaning the heat is just unbearable there for 3 months during the summer. And so I used to be able to handle it a lot better, but now I'm like, out here in Orange County and near the beach, it's like, man, I just do not, I do not.
How far do you live from the beach, Bobby?
5 miles, six
Oh,
miles.
that's nice.
Yeah. So, but still, like, there was no way I could go bike riding last week because of the heat. There
Not
was,
well.
Yeah.
Even last week, it was well over 100 at the beach, right? Was it
Gosh,
like
there were
105 or?
there were
it,
90-degree days there.
yeah,
Easy.
95, I think, was the hottest at Huntington Beach, on the beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So,
I went to Newport on a Tuesday, and it was hot out there. It's just, and that's too unusual because usually beach is always mid 70s.
and
See now,
really sad. It went from 95 to 60 in 2 days, and now my bones
Yeah.
ache. Now,
Yeah.
that's something I am not looking forward to when we have the uh, big
Cold.
temperature switch,
Yeah.
uh, especially around November, December. It's just like
yeah.
your whole
See out
body.
here where Shawn and I live. Last week it was 115.
Yeah. It was hotter there in Rancho Cucamonga area than it was in Palm Springs.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, for a couple of days it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, for Chad, he said it hit 107. Oof. Yeah,
Yeah. They're
still.
getting that heat. They're getting that heat that's passing from us going east.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely dangerous. How well do you do in the heat, Chad? So, as you're answering that, Chad, we're getting close to that time. Actually, we're at that hour. Um, Robert, you want to do our sponsors?
Sure, sure. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Mobility Professionals and Urology Professionals. Like I said earlier, they're a great group of professionals that are very much part of our community and are very good at what they do. And what they do is provide the best and durable medical equipment along with excellent customer service. And they are available to assist you. Mobility Professionals services the Southern California region. So contact them if you are in need of any DME equipment, wheelchair, or anything like that. So uh, give them a shout out. Their sister company, Urology Professionals, can help you provide help you with your catheter needs. They're serviced nationally, so wherever you're at in the U.S., they're available to you. So whenever you're in uh, the good old U.S. of A. and you need catheters, give them a call. Urology Professionals, great group of people, friends to live to roll, and uh, participants in the community.
Yeah, right. And then don't forget, check out on Tuesday, we have our Live to Roll back with Shawn and Tom. So if you're interested about emergency preparation, definitely check us out. They're at
Yeah,
3:30
yeah.
every Tuesday. And then on Wednesdays, we have Tom. He's gaming. So definitely check out Tom. And he always puts on a great show. He was with us earlier. So, and not only do they game, but they just hang out and have a good time. So, check them out. And then next Thursday in this slot, we're going to have, oh, yeah, we have Sarab too on Mondays. And then on Thursday, we're going to have the women back, our Real Girl Talk. And that's always the third Thursday of every week. And last week, if you didn't see them, our Golden Oldies, Rolling with the Golden Oldies, check their show. It was a great show. So, and unfortunately, Mickey, we know you weren't able to make it, but Michelle and Ellen
Julianne.
and thank you,
Yep.
did a great show. And then we're here every second and fourth Thursday of the month. So we're going to be back. Luis, you're back with us now?
I think so. Yeah.
Got it in your calendar?
If I'm not, somebody come beat me to death or something.
Yeah. But we're going to come out and put a tracker on you. So,
Yeah, yeah.
God,
well,
there's nothing worse than being picked up by a bunch of quads and beaten to death.
yeah, no kidding.
I just want to give a little shout out to Mickey, who's recovering from a procedure. Heal up, Mickey. So we're thinking about you.
Mickey. Take care, Mickey.
Yeah, we love you, Mickey. So quick healing so you can get back on your show the first Thursday of every month.
Yep.
Rolling with the Golden Oldies.
Sorry we missed Mark.
Yeah,
You know?
and Mark just sent me a text like it's not going to happen. I'm like, yeah, I think so. So
Yeah.
it looked like they
Another
got out
time.
there late and they needed to return it. Some library books, so his kid probably was like all panicked that he was going to.
Yeah. Gotta take care of the
Event.
father
We have
duties.
events coming up this weekend.
We have an event for those that are here in the Southern California area. If you want to come or check out triumphfoundation.org and sign up for the 5K, you can sign up even that morning if you want, but I don't suggest it. I say sign up sooner. And it's a 5K.
5K.
What's up?
Superhero 5K.
Superheroes. So bring your costume. Actually, I ordered a shirt, so I ordered a Superman shirt that looks great. So I'm gonna have
There
my
you go.
Superman hat and shirt on. So and we got Robert in the house. Thanks for joining us. Sorry you missed it, but yeah, you can always rewind, watch our shows, our previous shows, and they're always available for you at all times since day one. We started right after COVID lockdown, and away, Live to Roll started going live. So I think
Right
it's
on.
been 4.5 years now, or 3? Yeah, almost 4.5 years.
Well, yeah. God, already from the pandemic, man.
I know. So if you're in the Orange County area or in the Southern California area and want to do a 5K this weekend, lots of fun, and get a little bit of exercise. 3 miles, 3.1 miles.
Yep. Mason Park, Irvine, California.
There you go. Well, that wraps it up for us today. Another great show. Sorry we missed Mark from Abilities. He has a lot of great products, but I was also glad we could talk about Chad's products. And I just got a bunch of my more hooks, and because now I'm going to leave one in my van, leave one at my barbecue area, and then one in my office. And
Yeah,
so,
I want to see the lap table, see what size that's best for me.
yeah, I'll bring them down. I'll bring them down for you.
Need to
Or
use. I can use one of those.
on Saturday. So, all right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for everybody joining in the chat and
Okay.
being
All right.
very active. Make sure you hit that like button and have a great week.
Hasta la taco.
All right. Live to